Once upon a time, in a distant land, there lived a king who was known not for his bravery, nor his wisdom, but for something far less noble: his extreme laziness. This king's life revolved around just three things: eating, sleeping, and resting. He rarely left his chambers, ignored affairs of the kingdom, and left his ministers to manage everything. The people of the kingdom had grown tired. Their lands were neglected, justice was delayed, and their voices went unheard. They longed for a leader who would guide them, someone who would care. But the king remained buried under layers of silk and comfort, completely unaware, or unwilling to care, that his kingdom was slowly falling apart. The royal court tried again and again to wake him from his slumber, not just physically, but mentally. They spoke of duty, honor, and responsibility. He listened to none of it. His only commitment was to luxury. Over time, his body paid the price for his inactivity. He gained so much weight that walking even a few steps became a struggle. The palace halls, once echoing with his youthful laughter, were now silent. Even neighboring kingdoms began to laugh at him. Jesters in other lands told jokes about the sleeping king. And worst of all, enemy rulers no longer feared him. Why would they? A king who couldn't even stand up couldn't possibly lead a war. Then, one morning, the king looked into a mirror and froze. The man staring back at him was bloated, tired, and hollow-eyed. It was a moment of uncomfortable clarity. For the first time in years, he didn't feel powerful. He felt ashamed. That same day, he made an announcement across the kingdom. Whoever could help him regain his strength and health would receive a great reward. Healers, physicians, and herbalists from across the land rushed to the palace. They brought ancient remedies, powerful tonics, and exotic herbs. Each one promised a miracle. The king tried them all. None worked. His weight increased. His frustration grew. Then, one afternoon, an old sage arrived at the palace gates. He didn't bow, didn't flatter, didn't ask for gold. He simply said, "I have the remedy. But the king must come to me. I don't enter royal courts, and the cure will only work if I give it to him personally." The guards were stunned. When they reported the message to the king, he laughed. Then he shouted, "He expects me to walk to him? I can't even stand." But the ministers pleaded with him, "Your Majesty, this might be your only chance." Cornered by desperation, the king agreed. With great effort and the help of his guards, he sat up, then stood, then took a few painful steps. The journey to the sage's hut was exhausting. When he arrived, the sage wasn't there. A message was left: "Come back tomorrow." Furious, the king returned the next day. Still, the sage was absent. Day after day, this continued. The king walked to the hut, waited, and walked back. Something strange began to happen. The journey became easier. His breathing improved. He no longer needed guards to hold him up. By the end of the third week, he could walk the full distance without resting. A month later, the sage finally appeared. He handed the king a small cup of water. "This is the remedy," the sage said. The king drank it. "That's it? This is what I've waited for?" The sage smiled. "That's just ordinary water. You didn't heal because of a potion. You healed yourself." The king stared at him. "You've walked here every day for a month. You built discipline, strength, perseverance. That was the real medicine. There are no shortcuts." The king stood silent. The truth hit harder than any insult ever had. He had wasted years waiting for someone else to fix his life, when the answer was always within him. From that day forward, the king changed. He led with energy, listened to his people, and slowly rebuilt the trust he had lost. His kingdom flourished, not because of magic, but because their king finally decided to lead by example. This story reminds us that we often look for easy answers, quick fixes, or miracle solutions. But most of the time, the answer is simple. Start moving. Start now. Consistency beats excuses. Discipline beats delay. Success, health, growth, none of it comes overnight. It's earned step by step. So ask yourself, what small step can you take today? Start now. Don't wait for someone else to save you. Be your own rescue. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you'd like to hear more stories that spark change, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Your support helps us bring more powerful messages to life. We'll see you in the next video.